And just feel what you're feeling. Close your eyes for a moment and really come into yourself. And really pay attention to every little thing that you feel or hear or sense. And notice how it feels to simply rock your pelvis back and forth. Then find that neutral spine. So I always do this because I kind of feel where my hip bones are and where my ribs are. And we all have tendencies. I have a tendency to do this. So I'm going to draw my ribs down. And just for a moment, I'm pressing my back into the earth, but then I'm going to let it lift a tiny bit. And I could feel my hip bones are even to the ceiling. Hands by your hips, and just bring your right leg up into tabletop and bring it right back down and switch left leg and down. And let's just start here. Just simple dead bugs, lifting and lowering. And if you feel up to it, lift both legs up into tabletop and we'll make it femur arcs. So coming from up to tapping down, and just determining how you're feeling right now, what the best version of this is for you. If you notice you're wobbling around a lot, maybe it's better to just bring both feet down. Stay here and just rock both legs a little to the right, come center, a little to the left, center, and just start rocking side to side. Then come center. Keep your legs up if you're good. If not, bring them right back down. And if you're down, you could just open and close your legs like this. Both knees coming outward and inward. If you're up, same thing. Just watch out for, a lot of times I see people leading with their feet or their knees. Keep everything lined up. So if you look at your knees, you should not really be able to see your feet. I mean, when you come in, you might see your toes. And just notice, are you still maintaining your neutral spine? Keep your gaze to the sky. Then wrap your hands around your shins and simultaneously circle those knees outward. And reverse it. Then from here, keep your knees up, bring your hands up, and just separate your shoulder blades and press them down. So getting into the shoulder joint. Plug the shoulders in and bring your left arm towards your hip as you bring your right arm over your head and switch. So same thing, if having your feet in the air is too much for you, just bring them down to the floor. And as you do this, begin to add the legs. So you could always go from the floor up. Continue alternating hand and foot. Come center. Hug your knees into your chest, bring both feet to the mat, hands by your hips, and let's start our bridges. So find the position that feels good to you as you start to lift your tailbone off the mat, peeling your spine off the mat. Keep your gaze towards the sky. When your hips come into the air, feel what you're feeling. So I want you to notice, did your knees start to separate? Draw your thighs back towards each other. Or did you cave in? Bring them back. If you need to, take a little peek. Do you feel strain in your back? Chances are you're flaring the ribs. Draw the ribs down. Lift the hips even higher. So the goal is to really find extension in the front of your legs. Lifting higher and higher, just avoiding the flare of the rib cage. Then slowly peel your spine down one vertebra at a time. Really feel the massage in your back. And then peel your spine back up off the mat one bone at a time. And let's continue to do a few of these. Just really fill the space. And you could play around with your foot placement as well. Now the next time you come up, stay up. So find your bridge, see how much space you can create. Now from here, shift your weight a little towards the right, and starting from your right shoulder, start to roll down the right side of your body. Feel your right side of your body coming to the floor. Then find your center, tilt towards the left, and peel up the left side of the body back to center. Then peel down the left side of the body. Find your center, peel up the right side of the body. So let's do a few of those, just coming down one side, come center and up the other side, center, and continue. Just see if you could really feel yourself coiling up. So this is the beginning way to do corkscrew. We're not going to do corkscrew, but we're just doing the elements of it. Then come back center and bring both legs towards the left and see if you can stack your knees. At this point, it's okay if your right shoulder comes off the floor. I just had you roll to the left side. Now from here, roll completely to the left side, and you can rest your head on your arm or you can prop yourself up. Lift your feet, and we're going to do some clams. So you're just going to do 10, opening and closing the knee. And we're going to do 5 more. 2 and 1, and then rest both feet down. Extend your right leg straight, keeping your hips aligned. Just bend and straighten that top leg. You don't have to worry about flexing or pointing your foot. I'm just playing around with both. I think I like to flex up and point down. So do about 8, I lost count. And we're going to straighten the leg and point the leg forward and flex the leg back. Same thing, do your best to keep that pelvis lined up. The next time you bring your leg back, start to bicycle that leg. So the hand in front helps you maintain that alignment. I'm not really pressing hard. Reverse your bicycle. And there's no right or wrong as far as pointing or flexing your foot. I naturally point it. And then bend both knees. Interlace the back of your head with your fingers. And bring your right elbow up and start to roll back. Turn your head to look towards that right elbow as you continue to roll back. Take a couple deep breaths here. And then unravel. And we're going to come up to our side. So find your shoulder over your elbow and just lay on your side. My suggestion, since we haven't done this in a while, is to bend both knees and think of lifting from your waist to lift your hips up. Hold this and come back down. If you're feeling pretty good, start with one leg extended. Maybe stagger your feet or stack. Let's just do a couple more. One more and come back down. Bend both knees, come up to sitting, and we'll go right into sitting with our legs crossed. So you can stay here, or you can take your one leg behind you, and we're just gonna lift the arm opposite the leg in front and just come all the way up and over and switch sides. We're just gonna go side to side. Bring both hands towards the front leg, but you're on the side. And as you exhale, take a couple sitting cat-cows. So again, just working through the lower back, rocking into the pelvis. Some of you might feel a stretch back here. Hopefully everybody feels a toning in the belly. And then unravel, come up and switch legs. So sitting up nice and tall, the leg that's in front, the opposite arm comes up, and we're going to come all the way up and over. And we're just going to go a little side to side, breathing deeply. And then bring both hands towards the top leg on the side and do that cat-cow from here. Just working through the hips. I always think of when you're doing the extension, like you're looking through a window, and then you exhale and roll back. Then unravel, come up, take that counter stretch, and lay completely onto the other side. So I'm kind of reversing everything. So we are doing the whole thing only in reverse order. So now we're lifting the hips. You're playing around with foot placement. And you find the version that works for you. You can always play around with holding it. And then come down, bend both knees. And we're gonna go ahead and go right into the book opening. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Lift your top elbow and start to roll back, looking over that top elbow. Take a couple deep breaths here. And then come back, and you can stay down here, you can prop yourself up, and we're gonna extend that top leg straight and bend and straighten that top leg. Your arm could be wherever you want it to be. And then straighten the leg, flex your foot forward and point your leg back. Really notice if you start to wobble around in the hips. Start to bicycle that leg. Really work on the extension coming back. And reverse the bicycle. And then keep both legs together, lift your feet, and we'll do 10 clams. Just 2 more. And then roll back to your back. Find your center, feet on the wide edges of the mat, and just let both legs drop to the right. And then let both legs drop to the left and stay here for a minute. If it feels okay, walk that right foot back a little. And you're gonna feel a stretch anywhere below the waist. Most of us are going to feel it more into the quad, possibly in the lower back, and see if you could allow that right leg to relax a little and just breathe and hold. And then interlace your fingers back behind your head. Pick up your right elbow and bring it all the way up and over to the floor on the left side. We're gonna stay here for a couple breaths so we could really get the stretch through our entire body here. If you feel your knee at all, you can prop it up with a block or anything, a pillow. And then roll back to your back and let both legs drop to the right and pick up your left elbow and bring it as far over to the floor on the right side. And same thing, maybe feel it through your back all the way through to your front. And take a few breaths to get a nice stretch. See if you can relax the bottom leg and hip. You could always walk that foot back a little if it feels okay. Then roll back to your back. Keep your hands behind your head. Lift your elbows a little bit. Think of pressing your ribs down to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. Let your head rest into your hands. My hope is that you feel a stretch in the back of your neck and work in your abs. If you're okay here, reach your hands behind your hamstrings, lift a tiny bit higher, and then stay here with your hands behind your head. If you're good here, legs into tabletop, extend your left leg, bring your left armpit towards your right knee, come back center as you inhale. Twist the other way, right armpit towards left knee, inhale center. Exhale to twist, inhale center, exhale twist, inhale center, exhale twist, inhale center, exhale twist, inhale center, exhale twist, inhale center, roll back, hug your shins. Go ahead, take that femur circle going out 3 times and then in. Then hug your right leg about 2 inches below the knee. If it feels painful to you, just wrap your hands behind your hamstring. Extend your left leg all the way to the mat and gently hug your right knee towards your right armpit. Continue to feel as if you could press that left hamstring all the way through the floor. My hope is you feel a stretch in the top of that left leg towards the hip flexor and circle your right foot from the ankle joint. Wrap your hands behind your right hamstring and start to point and straighten the leg. You can point and flex the foot. Straighten the leg as much as you can. As you exhale, if it feels okay, walk your hands up your leg, holding onto your calf. Exhale, press. Inhale, release. Exhale, press. Inhale, release. Exhale, press. Inhale, release. And then as you lay down, open your right leg on a diagonal towards the right. Wherever you reach is fine. Take a deep breath here. And then exhale, bring that leg center. Bend the knee, keeping both shoulders on the floor. Cross that right leg all the way over to the left. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, allow everything to unwind. And then roll back to your back. Pick up your right ankle, cross it over your left thigh. Aim that knee away from you as you rock side to side. Lift your left leg off the mat. Hands wrap around that left hamstring. If this is okay for you and you feel like you want to go deeper, wrap both hands around that left shin. I'm using my right elbow to keep my right knee anchored. You don't have to, I just like how it feels. And wherever you've decided is the deep part for you, tilt your legs an inch to the left. My hope is you feel it even deeper. Take a couple deep breaths here. And then come center, unwind your right leg to the mat, hug your left knee towards your left armpit, and circle your left foot from the ankle joint. So interestingly enough, this week somebody actually asked me about this. They said, well, why isn't my leg center? Go ahead and try it. Bring your leg straight center and then kind of roll it a little bit towards the armpit. I'm thinking you're gonna feel what I feel, and it feels a lot better in the hip. I believe if we were to look at a skeleton, it would fit better. So hands behind your hamstring, point and flex that foot. Straighten the leg, walk your hands up the leg, press your leg into your hands. Inhale, come down and open up that left leg on a diagonal to the left side. Hopefully you're getting a nice stretch in that left hamstring, possibly inner thigh. I'm just pressing my right hip down so I don't roll off. Then come center, bend your knee and cross your left leg all the way over to the right side, keeping both shoulders on the floor as much as possible. Turn your head to look over your left shoulder and take a breath or two here. And then roll back, bend both knees, pick up your left ankle, cross it over your right thigh. Find the distance that works for you. As you exhale, pick your right leg off the mat, hands wrap around the right hamstring. If that's not deep enough for you, wrap both hands around your shin. Wherever it's the deepest, tilt your legs an inch to the right. Take a deep breath. Exhale, allow everything to open up a little more. Unravel, find your way into happy baby. Aiming the knees towards the armpits, your tailbone to the floor. However is the safest, best way for you to come up. Come all the way up to sitting. Taking a moment here, let's do a couple squeezes and releases of the hands. Make sure you do this every day. And then just sitting nice and tall. Let your right ear reach towards the ceiling. Look towards your left armpit. Roll center. Lift up. Let your left ear reach towards the ceiling. Look towards your right armpit. Roll center. Come up. Inhale your hands above your head. Find your thumbs to your hearts. I wish you love, peace, joy, and wonderful good health always. Namaste. And we'll go ahead and cancel the recording. Well, I'm going to have to do it manually.